After moving to New York City from Ecuador with his family at age 5, Carlos Jativa knew at an early age he wanted to serve his country, and he wanted to do so as a Marine.
Joined up 17, had to beg my mom to sign because, you know, when you're 17 you have to have a waiver to get into boot camp because I wasn't 18 yet. So I begged her, you know, after she cried a little bit, you know, I finally got her to sign it. So left for boot camp 2 days after I graduated high school.
After basic training, Carlos was deployed to Ramadi, Iraq as an infantryman. During his second tour of duty, he was on a mounted patrol when his vehicle was struck by an explosive device while crossing a bridge. His Humvee was sent airborne.
Everybody says, and it's true, you know, your life flashed before your eyes. It felt like we were airborne forever, you know. And then I just remember seeing the ground and just thinking in my head, oh, this is it, because, you know, it was a pretty steep, it was like maybe like 40 feet, 40, 50 feet. So I remember telling myself, I was like, well, here, this is it.
Fortunately, Carlos survived the crash, but he suffered severe leg wounds along with a dramatic brain injury. After spending years in rehabilitation, he was honorably discharged from the Marines and moved to Pittsburgh with his new wife.
It was just hard because, you know, I didn't have anything. You know, once you leave the Marine Corps, unfortunately, you don't even say a thank you. You know, you just get out. It's like, you know, the bell rang to end school and you're going home, but this time you're going home for good. And, you know, there's really nothing, if you don't have a job lined up when you get out, you don't have anything planned, it's just like, where do you start from here? Where do you go?
To make matters worse, Carlos was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder related to his injuries suffered in Iraq.
I felt that, like, nobody would understand me, nobody cared. So, you know, I was really in a down and, I guess you could say, depressed state to where, you know, I was just drinking a lot, you know, things would go through my head that I didn't want them to be there, and, you know, I just didn't have any motivation to do anything really to, like, put myself in a position where I could prosper, I guess, as a civilian.
With seemingly nowhere else to turn, Carlos paid a visit to the Wounded Warrior Project.
Carlos and I went into one of our conference rooms. We sat down, started talking. I wanted to see what was going on with him. I could see immediately in his eyes that he was struggling. He went through, told me that he's new to the area, doesn't have any family, originally from New York. I said, well, you have family now. You're a part of our family, the Wounded Warrior Project.
During that meeting, Michael Paularino thought of a perfect outlet for Carlos: boxing. More specifically, training at the Wolfpack Boxing Gym in Carnegie.
I could see the trouble in his eyes. He was struggling. Just knowing what I knew about his backstory gave me a little bit of an advantage as to what was going on. But I kept a really close eye on him just because of that. And boxing really took the back seat. Boxing was just, I think, the way to his getting better.
The Wounded Warrior Project and the Wolfpack Boxing Club gave Carlos a place to belong. It gave him structure, and it helped turn his life around. And now, he has a message to others who might be struggling like he was just a year ago.
Search for help. Wounded Warrior Project's out there to help you. They don't care about, you know, anything else except you. They don't want any money. They don't want your money. They don't want anything. They want you to get better.